Good evening, this is TC and English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Ning Kim Kong San. First, the headlines. 42 Kukis who had completed jail term released from Manipur Central Jail. DYA General Headquarters condemned recent incident of arrest and firing of number of rounds at chief's residence. IMD predicts heavy rainfall over southwest peninsula, northeast and adjoining east region during next 5 days. News in detail. As many as 42 people from the Kuki community were released from the Manipur Central or Seizure jail by the government on Friday. According to police, the released prisoners were arrested in cases related to drugs, extortion, blackmail, and attempt to murder, among others, registered under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act (UAPA). The state government released these 42 prisoners who belong to the Kuki community, as they had completed their jail terms. The 42 prisoners were identified as Mangmin Thang Hokip, 32, Lalpu Singh Sit, 34, Lumin Hao Khung Sai, 29, Benson Guite, 28, Kaute Thangneiram Vaipe, 62, Luan Siam Lem Vaipe, 18 years, Luan Tin Sang Chongloi, 30, Sai Kholin, Sei Khohen Khong Sai, 35, Let Min Thang Paiti, 24, Ringlian Dongal, 46 years, Luan Thanglin Tau Thang, 36, Let Ngam Tu Boy, 43, Mang Suang Lian, 21, Dongul Ngam Kumang, 34, Paugin Mang Khong Sai, 22, Seigam Hau Kip, 38, Let Kuchon Kip Gen, 22, Lam Ngai Lau Kip Gen, 32, Lun Min Sei Kip Gen, 26, Lun Thang Lin Tau Thang, 36, Let Ngam Tu Boy, 43, 36, Mang Suang Lian, 21, Dongul Ngam Kumang, 34, Paugin Mang Khong Sai, 22, Seigam Hau Kip, 38, Let Kuchon Kip Gen, 22, Lam Ngai Lau Kip Gen, 32, Lumin Sei Kip Gen, 26, Ngam Goldin Tau Thang, 38, Thang Sing Luluan Simte, 28, Boygin Guite, 19 years, Lung Khuzang Tau Thang, 40, Le Khusei Kung Sai, 19, Lun Kumang Baite, Elias Mangnyo, 30. Robert Lin Thang, 24, Hogin Legup, 20, Similian Kung Sai, 32, Seikugin Kung Sai, 23, Baltin Mang Hokip, 33, Zangin Lau Tau Thang, 25, Min Thang Hokip, Elias Mangnyo, 30, Mang Min Lau Tau Thang, 33. With regard to the recent unlawful activities of central and state forces, where they arrest 3 innocent Kuki Zou village volunteers and indiscriminately shooting of number of rounds to the chief of El Haizol village, Sadar Hills, Kangpokpi district. Thado Youth Association General Headquarters DYA GHQ issued a press release condemning the incident. In its press release, the Thado Youth Association General Headquarters DYA GHQ stated that the Kuki Zou community of Manipur faced and orchestrated persecution from the Meitei-led state government in different ways. The long satanic political hand of the state government used various forces, including the central forces, to hammer the minor Kuki community residing in small groups in villages. Since the ethnic cleansing against the Kuki community, men volunteered to safeguarding the villagers and land from the Meitei militants, VBIGs and the Meitei police commandos' aggressions. The release further said, persecuting the helpless Kuki village volunteers, who are left with no choice but standing guard for their land and family, is a grasp of human rights and right to defend, which the paramilitary forces has been doing against the Kuki Zou community by arresting 3 Kuki Zou village volunteers and indiscriminately firing more than 100 live rounds bullet to the chief of El Haizol village, Sadar Hills, Kangpokpi district, early the morning of 9 July 2024. We the Kuki Zou Tatsapaho have nothing but to sacrifice our life for our land and nations against the incumbent Meitei state political heads. Tata Youth Association General Headquarters TYAGHQ do vehemently condemn such act of atrocities and unwarranted persecution against innocent village volunteers who stand guard against Meitei attacks. Furthermore, the TYAGHQ endorsed the total shutdown called by Kuki in Manipur in demand for justice to the Kuki communities and village volunteers to the extent. India Meteorological Department IMD has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall over the southwest peninsula part of the country, northeast and adjoining east region during the next 5 days. According to the weather agency, heavy rainfall is likely at some places over Konkan, Goa, Madhya Maharashtra, Karnataka, Gujarat region and Telangana till the 16th of this July, while the Rayalaseema region will witness rainfall on the 14th and 15th, and Saurashtra and Kutch on the 12th and 16th of July. Heavy rainfall is likely at isolated places over Assam and Meghalaya, Odisha till the 16th of July, while Sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim, Bihar, Arunachal Pradesh will witness heavy rainfall till the 14th of July. Jharkhand will witness heavy rainfall tomorrow, Andaman and Nicobar Islands on the 13th and 14th, and Nagaland and Manipur on the 14th and 15th of July. IMD predicted isolated heavy rainfall over Uttarakhand, the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh, till the 16th of July, Chhattisgarh till the 15th of July, West Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh till the 14th of July, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh tomorrow, East Rajasthan on the 16th July, and Vidarbha during the 14th to 16th July. India is likely to allocate $1 billion to accelerate the constructions of 12 hydropower stations in Arunachal Pradesh, a move likely to heighten tensions with China, which claims the reason, Reuters reported. This scheme aims to support northeastern states by financing equity holdings in the hosted projects. Gaining the corporations of state governments typically aids in expediting regulatory clearances, local rehabilitations, and negotiations on electricity sharing with the host state. The sources requested anonymity due to confidential nature of the information. These companies did not respond to requests for comments. These projects were previously assigned to private sector firms but remained inactive due to various issues. Over the past 20 years, India has built less than 15 gigawatts of hydropower plants, while the installations of new coal and other renewable energy sources have been nearly 10 times that of new hydropower projects. India asserts that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral part of the country, while China claims it as a part of southern Tibet and has opposed other Indian infrastructure projects there. Both countries have been enhancing infrastructure along their border regions following clashes in the Western Himalayas in 2020, which resulted in the deaths of 20 Indian and at least 4 Chinese troops. Unhappy with the performance of its employee, the Sikkim government has rolled back the 5-day workweek system and declared that they will get holidays only on 2nd and 4th Saturdays. The new system will come into effect from April 1, according to the government circular. After coming to power in May last year, Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang introduced the 5-day workweek for state government and public sector units employees instead of previous 6-day work week. A government official aware of the recent development informed that the Sikkim Krantikari Morcha government was not happy with the performance of the government employees despite providing holidays on Saturdays. S.C. Gupta, the chief secretary, on Monday modified the last year's circular, said that government employees will only receive holidays on 2nd and 4th Saturday from April 1, 2020. The decision has come at a time when several organizations are trimming their workdays to provide a better work-life balance to its employees. Recently, the Maharashtra government announced 5-day work week for state government employees. The government workers earlier in the state used to get second and fourth Saturdays off every month. Few of the private organizations have even tried 4 working days a week and observed a gradual rise in productivity. Latest in the line was Microsoft. The company, in its Japan office in August, practiced a 4-day work week experiment. The American multinational founded employees were happier and more productive. The project called Work-Life Choice Challenge Summer 2018 gave Microsoft Japan's entire workforce of 2,300 people 5 Fridays off in a row without decreasing pay. Throughout the month, it was found that the meetings were more efficient, workers were happier, and the productivity rose by 40%. On Thursday, July 11, 2024, the Kuki MP Southwest Cedar Hills branch, led by El Hingzol Village, Gangpokpi district, inspects the Mayday coming from this route. This came after when 3 village volunteers from Kuki were arrested unlawfully under the leadership of SP Gangpokpi and H. Primjit Singh DIG operations, followed by a rally on July 11, 2024 by various civil society organizations, KWU Multan Block, KSO Southwest, KKL Multan Block as well, and also the people of the Hill from various places. The Kuki MP Southwest Cedar Hills General Secretary submitted a memorandum to the Kuki MP Cedar Hills, reiterating their demands, which include: Mayday drivers cannot be given the responsibilities for convoys for transporting materials. Escort services by state police for convoys is not wanted. Compensation for damage caused by central forces in Sinam Zone Hall and El Henzol village. Arrest warrants cannot be issued for village chief where trouble occurs. The organization has vowed to continue the total shutdown of National Highway 37 if their demands are neglected. India has refused to back a resolution in the UN General Assembly that urges Russia to immediately end its aggression against Ukraine and urgently withdraw its forces and other unauthorized personnel from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, news agency PTI reported. The 193-member UN General Assembly adopted the resolutions on Thursday with 99 votes in favor, 9 against and 60 abstentions, including India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, Egypt, Nepal, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and Sri Lanka. Those voting against the resolution included Belarus, Cuba, North Korea, Russia, and Syria. The resolution calling for Russia to end its offensive in Ukraine came days after Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Moscow and met Russian President Vladimir Putin. During the talks, PM Modi flagged the aftermath of the Ukraine war, including the deaths of children in the over 2-year-long conflict. The UN resolution titled Safety and Security of Nuclear Facilities of Ukraine, including the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, demanded that Russia immediately cease its aggressions against Ukraine and unconditionally withdraw all of its military forces from the territory of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. It also demanded that Russia urgently withdraw its military and other unauthorized personnel from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant and immediately hand it over to Ukraine to ensure the facility's safety and security. It called for the immediate cessation of the attacks by Russia against Ukraine's critical energy infrastructure, which increases the risk of a nuclear accident in the war-torn country. The draft resolution was introduced by Ukraine and was sponsored by over 50 member states, including France, Germany, and the US. Before the vote on the resolution, Russia's first Deputy Permanent Representative Dmitry Polinsky said the UN General Assembly had unfortunately adopted many documents that were non-consensual, politicized and did not reflect reality. Votes in favor of today's draft will be regarded by Kyiv, Washington, Brussels, and London as evidence of support for the policy of further escalating the Ukrainian conflict to the detriment of steps taken by sensible part of the international community to find a peaceful, sustainable, and long-term solution to the conflict, he said. Within 5 days of Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister and Chandrababu Naidu meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Central has acceded to a major demand of setting up an oil refinery and petrochemical hub in the state with an investment of rupees 60,000 crore. Naidu, a key ally in the National Democratic Alliance NDA government at the center, met top officials of Bharat Petroleum Corporations Limited (BPCL) on Wednesday to discuss the feasibility of setting up a refinery in the state. According to people in the know, 3 locations were discussed for the refinery. These include Srikakulam, Machilipatnam, and Ramayapatnam. The people said formal announcements of the refinery is likely to be made in the budget to be presented on July 23rd. The locations will be assessed and then finalized. Sources said this process will take up at least 2 months and the locations may not be announced in the budget. A source who did not wish to be identified told ET. The announcement is politically sensitive as well. 3 locations are in different parts of the state, north, central, and south. An email query sent to BPCL went unanswered till the press time. This is a big win for Naidu as he had pushed for setting up of refinery during his meetings with the PM and Petroleum Minister Hydropower. Naidu's 16 MPs provide the much-needed support to the BJP-led NDA government. However, Naidu has been categorically stating that he has interests of his state in mind and is unwilling to rock the boat over any demand. The refinery is a commitment made at the time of bifurcations of the state and laid down in the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014. Section 93 of the Act lays down that the Central shall take all necessary measures as enumerated in the 13th Schedule for the progress and sustainable development of the successor states within a period of 10 years from the appointed day. The 4-point under infrastructure head of 13 schedule says IOC or HPCL shall, within 6 months from the appointed day, examine the feasibility of establishing a greenfield crude oil refinery and petrochemical complex in the successor state of Andhra Pradesh and take an expeditious decisions thereon. While BPCL and Petroleum Ministry have been tight-lipped about a move Naidu took to microblogging site Hydropower. Strategically placed on the eastern coast of the country, our state has a significant petrochemical potential. Today, I met with the representatives of the Bharat Petroleum Corporations Limited led by Chairman and Managing Director Krishna Kumar. We explored the establishment of an oil refinery and petrochemical complex in Andhra Pradesh with an investment of 60 to 70,000 crore. I have sought a detailed plan and feasibility report in 90 days. About 5,000 acres of land will be required for this project, which the government looks forward to facilitating in a hassle-free manner. Indian authorities have intercepted and seized a consignment of banned chemical weapons en route from China to Pakistan, which has raised concern about the ongoing proliferations of weapons of mass destruction in the region. The chemical orthochlorobenzylidine malonyl (CS) is known to be used in riot control as an incapacitating agent during warfare. The consignment originated from Chengdu Sichuan Trading Co., a Chinese firm, and was intended for Rohal Enterprises, a Rawalpindi-based defense supplier, weighing approximately 2,560 kilograms and stored in 103 drums. It's containing 25 kg. The shipment was on board vessel Hyundai, Shanghai that sailed under the Cypriot flag, on April 18 from Shanghai port, China. On its journey to Karachi, the vessel made a stop at Kattupalli port in Tamil Nadu on May 8, where Indian customs authorities during a routine check detained the consignment. The chemical, which is on India's export control list SCOMET, Special Chemicals, Organisms, Material, Equipment and Technologies, SCOMET, as a controlled substance led to further investigations. Once confirmed that the shipment contained orthochlorobenzylidine malonitrile, a substance listed under the Wassenaar Agreement as well, an international arms control regime to which India is a signatory, it was seized. The consignment was seized and held off under two Indian laws, the Customs Act 1962 and the Weapons of Mass Destruction and Delivery System Prohibitions of Unlawful Activities Act 2005. The discovery of such a large quantity of orthochlorobenzylidine malonitrile bound for Pakistan raises questions and its intended use. This is not for the first time India has seized material bound for Pakistan from China. China has previously been involved in supplying dual-use items and controlled substances to Pakistan in the past as well. Earlier this year, Indian authorities intercepted and seized a consignment of CNC machinery capable of producing sophisticated work components for defense, aerospace and nuclear applications at Nhava Sheva Port, Maharashtra, India. The machinery was shipped from China with Cosmos Engineering listed as the consignee. Though reports indicated that DESTO, Pakistan Defense Science and Technology Organization, was the actual end user. In April 2024, the U.S. Bureau of Industry and Security (BIS) sanctioned 3 Chinese companies for supplying key components to Pakistan's ballistic missile program. The companies sanctioned were Tianjin Creative Source International Trade Co. Ltd., Grand Pack Company Limited, and Xi'an Longday Technology Development Company. At least 51 soldiers have been killed in the last 3 years in Jammu and Kashmir. A total of 10 soldiers and a troop and a village defense guard have been killed in militant attacks in the first 7 months of this year. Against 29 soldiers, 4 policemen and a BSF personnel in the whole of 2023. In 2022, 12 soldiers were killed, and last year 121 persons, including 21 local militants, 52 infiltrators, 29 soldiers, 4 policemen, 14 civilians and a BSF personnel were killed in Jammu and Kashmir. The data available with the news agency Kashmir News Trust reveals that besides the death of a village defense guard and a CRPF personnel, 10 soldiers, including a junior commissioner officer, has been killed in the first 7 months of this year. In militancy-related incidents up to July, at least 19 soldiers and 2 policemen have sustained injuries. Here are some of the incidents since January where soldiers either suffered casualties or injuries or came under attack. January 12, in Krishna Ghata sector of Poonch, militants attacked a forced convoy. All the soldiers escaped unhurt. An army soldier was killed while performing an operational task in a forward area of North Kashmir, Baramulla district. January 18, an army soldier, Agnivar Ajay Singh, was killed while 2 others suffered injuries in an IED blast in the Nosfera sector of Rajouri district. April 24, in an encounter in Ranji forest of Aramgam, Bandipora, 2 soldiers were injured. April 28, a village defense guard was killed in an exchange of fire between police personnel and militants hiding in Chotrugala Heights in the Basantgarh area of Udhampur district. May 4th, in the Sanaitop area of Poonch district, a soldier was killed and 4 others were injured in a fierce encounter. June 11, a CRPF personnel was also killed in an encounter in Saidat Sukhal village in Hiranagar, Kathua. On the same day, militants fired on a joint checkpost on the Fort Rashtriya Rifles and Police in the Chatirgala area of the Doda district, injuring 5 soldiers and a wound SPO. June 12, a cop was injured in Kota Top Dandododa encounter. July 6, a soldier was killed in the Chinigam-Kulgam encounter. In Mothergam-Kulgam encounter, a para-commando died in the actions. July 7, a soldier was critically injured after militants attacked the headquarters of a territorial army battalion in Galuti Patara village of Manzakoti, Razori. July 8, 5 soldiers, including a ZCO, were killed and an equal number of soldiers were injured in a militant attack in the Batnota area of Katwa district of Sammu region. The IDF says it has wrapped up its 2-week-long raid in Gaza City's Seizure neighborhood, during which combat engineers demolished 8 major tunnels and killed more than 150 gunmen. It publishes new footage showing one of the tunnels, and of it being destroyed by the elite Yahalom Combat Engineering Unit. In the past day, 2 tunnels were destroyed in Seizure, bringing the total amid the operations to 8, according to IDF. In the tunnels, the IDF says troops with the 98th Division found weapons, laptops, and other military equipment used by Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad operatives. The IDF also releases footage showing a small drone sent into a building by soldiers of the Paratroopers Brigade and identifying 2 gunmen. According to IDF, tanks shelled the building, killing the pair. The post-IDF wraps up raid in Gaza City's Seizure neighborhood says it kills more than 150 gunmen appeared first on the Times of Israel. The post-IDF wraps up raid in Gaza City's Seizure neighborhood says it kills more than 150 gunmen appeared first on the Times of Israel. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said Tuesday that the world must not wait for the November presidential elections in the United States to take action to repel Russia's offensive against his country. It's time to step out of the shadows to make strong decisions to act and not wait for November or any other month to descend. We must be strong and uncompromising altogether, Zelenskyy said in a pivotal address during a NATO summit 4 months before an American elections beset by new tumult following incumbent President Joe Biden's shaky debate performance 2 weeks ago. He added that the President of the United States must be uncompromising in defending democracy, uncompromising against Russian President Vladimir Putin and his coterie. The visit to Washington was the latest in a series of trips for the Ukrainian leader, who has proven to be an adept navigator of international relations in defense of his war-ravaged country, publicly gazoling and sometimes loudly complaining to get the military assistance it needs to defend against itself against Russia. But as he attends this week's summit of NATO leaders in Washington, his most coveted prize, membership in the military alliance, remains elusive. The European and North American countries making up NATO are in no hurry to admit Ukraine, especially while it is engaged in active hostilities with Russia that could drag them into a broader war. Zelenskyy, who was feted as a champion of democracy in Washington in the aftermath of Russia's 2022 invasions, but was forced to plead his case for aid to U.S. lawmakers just last year, found himself once again in the American capital as bridesmaid. At the NATO summit, he'll be trying to navigate a tumultuous American political landscape as Biden tries to show his strength on the world stage and ability to keep leading the alliance's most important member, even while fending off defections from fellow Democrats uneasy about his ability to lead the country for another 4 years. A NATO skeptic, Trump has criticized allies for not hitting defense spending goals and raised concerns in Europe about continued U.S. support for NATO and Ukraine. His Republican supporters in Congress were responsible for a months-long delay in U.S. military assistance, which allowed Russia to gain ground against Ukraine's depleted forces. Poland needs to prepare its troops for an all-out conflict. Police Chief of General Staff General Wisław Kukula said on Wednesday, the 10th of July, as Poland increases the number of troops on its borders with Russia and Belarus amid deteriorating relations following Russia's war in Ukraine, reports Reuters. We need to prepare our forces for a full-scale conflict, not an asymmetric one, Kukula told a news conference. The situation forces us to find a balance between the border mission and maintaining intensive training in the army, he said. Speaking at the same event, Deputy Defense Minister Paweł Besa said that from August, the number of soldiers guarding Poland's eastern border would be increased. In May, Poland unveiled the Eastern Shield, a 10 billion zloty project aimed at strengthening defenses along its border with Belarus and Russia, which it plans to complete by 2028. The border with Belarus has become a flashpoint since migrants started flooding in 2021 after Belarus opened travel agencies in the Middle East, offering a new unofficial route to Europe, a move the European Union claimed was designed to trigger a crisis. Warsaw has also this year increased its defense spending to more than 4% of GDP. Poland will increase its defense budget by around 10% of GDP in 2025, reaching a record high. Police Deputy Defense Minister Seizure said on Thursday. Kukula also said that the current high interest in joining the army poses a dilemma whether to take on more recruits than budgeted, at the expense of military equipment purchases, especially as, he said, interest is expected to start declining sharply from 2027. At the end of last year, the police armed forces, including land, air, naval, special and territorial defense forces, numbered around 190,000. Poland plans to increase this number to 3 lakh within a few years. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.